UK Pro Bs once again, hit that subscribe button. I'm delighted to be joined by the man himself, the heavyweight banger, Otto Wallin. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. How does it feel to feel free outside the fight bubble? You've got your freedom now.
It feels good. You know, before fights, there's always a lot of emotion. You know, everything is about boxing. So it's nice to be back now here in my apartment in New York and relax a little bit, play some video games, eat some candy, some fast food, and, you know, just relax a little bit.
All right, candy. You're going to fully indulge in a bit of candy, all right?
Yeah, for sure. You got a nice Swedish candy store here. So I go there and get all my candy.
Okay. Adrian Broner was saying that the fight bubble was very restrictive. I mean, he couldn't do what he needed to do to get off a few extra pounds because the bubble was that restrictive. Was that the case?
Excuse me, you were breaking up. What were you saying?
So, yeah, Adrian Broner, he had trouble making the weight for his fight, but he said that, you know, he fully thought he could do it, but because of the restrictions inside the bubble, he couldn't train properly to get the weight down. Is that right?
I think so. I mean, I don't have to lose any weight, so I don't really know, but we are kind of restricted to just one floor, and we can go down to the gym, but I don't think there's a sauna around. I'm sure a lot of these people use sauna sometimes, so I don't know if that's what he's thinking about.
All right, so cracking victory over Domnic Breazeale over the weekend. How did it go? How do you kind of recall your victory?
I think it was good. You know, Breazeale is my best win so far. He was a step up from Travis Kaufman that I fought in August, and felt like Breazeale, he's a tough guy, but he's not the fastest. So I wanted to use my footwork, my speed, outbox him, and I felt like that what I was doing most of the fight. And I hit him with some solid shots, and he had a swelling on his left eye. And I think that he's a tough guy. You know, only lost to Joshua and Wilder. So I'm in good company there now with having beaten him. But all in all, I think it was good and, you know, a step in the right direction for me.
It would seem initially the first couple of rounds, it was just like you were kind of just figuring out, you know, how the fight's going to, you know, go. And then when you settled, you did pretty well, I thought.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I know there's things I can improve on. I haven't watched the fight yet, but I feel like I'm improving. I'm getting better. I'm not fully developed yet, so gotta go back, watch this fight when I start training again. I don't like to watch the fight right off because I want to enjoy the victory a little bit, and then, you know, when I start watching, I'm always so critical, so I try to enjoy it a little bit first.
Do you feel like you went into the, obviously, look, you fought Kaufman, you fought Fury before that. You feel like you went into this fight with a lot of confidence because you put on a gallant display against Fury. So, you know, a lot of people now are looking at you now as a creditable name in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I think, like I said, a step in the right direction, being Breazeale here. And now I just got to keep working so I can get more big fights. I'm on a big platform with Showtime, which is great. I was on a big card with Broner, so that's good. I'm getting good exposure and good fights, and yeah, having a little break now, but then I'll get right back in there and keep working, try to develop, and hopefully get those big fights so I can position myself for another title shot.
You mentioned big fights. I mean, what is a step up from Domnic Breazeale for you?
A step up from Breazeale, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I think there's plenty of guys. I haven't been able to think much about it, but fighting on Showtime, so there's a connection with the PBC fighters, and the last two guys, Kaufman and Breazeale, has been PBC fighters, so that's a natural connection. You know, you have Charles Martin, you have I think a step above him, of course, is Ortiz, Ruiz, guys like that. But I think there's a lot of good fights out there for me, and first and foremost right now for me is to be busy and to rack up some experience.
So when you say experience, just some more learning fights before going like real deep in there?
Yeah, I think maybe someone a little better than Breazeale will be good. trying to just step it up a notch all the time.
You mentioned Luis Ortiz. You know, you've got Brazil on your record. Luis Ortiz would be another fantastic name on your resume.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Ortiz is one of the best out there. So I think that he's, you know, if he's not the elite level, he's right up below, you know. He's maybe top 5 in the world. So I think that he's definitely one of those big guys, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ortiz obviously came up short against Deontay Wilder twice. You know, Deontay Wilder knocked him out twice, but it's a bit difficult for you now because people know what you can do. So they won't just fight you straight away. They'll be thinking about potentially the consequences to potentially losing.
Yeah, I believe so too. And, you know, I'm a southpaw. I think I got some nice tools, you know, footwork, some hand speed, sharp. I feel like I'm accurate. So then maybe not everybody going to be too happy, you know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens from now on. But I'm happy that I got a big win, you know, and hopefully I can land some good fights.
Hey,
I mean, that's what I need. And like I said, experience. I think experience is really what I'm lacking. I haven't been on a high level for very long, and I'm just, you know, getting up there and trying to get better.
I mean, look, I know you want more experience, but I think Deontay Wilder's looking for an opponent coming back to the ring after a year out. How would that be for you? Is that too much of a step forward straight away?
You know, I'm open to anything, but I got to look at the offer first. You know, like when I fought Fury, we got a good offer, you know. We felt it was good timing, and we jumped on it. We got it. So, you know, maybe a guy like Wilder is not somebody I would initially say, like, I want to fight him right now. But if I get a good offer, I'm open to it. When
you're hoping to be back into camp, are you just waiting for a fight, or are you going to just stay ready?
No, I'm getting back in there. I might go to the gym maybe one time this week, a few more times next week, and then I'll be back in there, I think. So maybe 2 weeks here with numb to light training, and then be right back in there. You know, I think that's what I need. I gotta work to get better. So I don't have the time to lose now.
You know what's funny? I was actually watching one of your amateur fights with Anthony Joshua. You know, only about a week ago, and I thought, wow. I mean, just to think of where you guys are now, which is it's amazing.
It really is. You know, I fought him that first time in the Haringey Box Cup in London, and that was maybe 2009, 2010. And I mean, I just went out there. I saw this big guy that I was gonna fight, and I remember his trainer. Me and my father, we got along with his trainer because he was there selling like cards and the boxing stuff. So we got along with him. And then when he found out that I was going to fight Josh, he was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. You know, he's got 16 wins and 16 knockouts or something. So I'm sorry, but your son is going to get hurt, he told my father. And then we went up there and had a good fight. Of course, my father didn't tell me that before, but he told me after. But, I mean, yeah, that's funny. When you look back at it, you never know who you fight in the amateurs and what's going to happen.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
See how he progressed. He went on to win Olympic medal, and he's a unified heavyweight champion. And, you know, I'm trying to make my run to catch up on him.
100%. It would seem, I just saw a tweet earlier today that, you know, that fight with Fury is going to be, well, it's going well, apparently. So nice. It should be happening sooner than, you know, what we think at the moment. So looking forward to that, definitely.
For sure. That's the fight everybody wants to see. I want to see it. I'm sure you want to see it. And I think that's going to be great for boxing because the best, you got to fight the best to keep the sport alive and to make it grow, especially now in these tough times. So I'm happy to talking about that. And it'd be cool to have one heavyweight champion. We'll see how long that's going to last because sometimes titles gets available and that might be where a guy like me coming.
Usyk and Joe Joyce will fight for an interim title. Another good fight. You know, another good fight.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I watched them fight in the amateurs in that WWSB.
SB, yeah.
And that was a good fight. I mean, Joyce, he didn't have much experience when he went up against him. And I know Joyce, he's got a great engine. So, you know, a fight over 12 rounds, I think he can give Usyk a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what he said initially was that fight they had in the amateur was only 5 rounds. Over 12 rounds is a completely different story.
Yeah. And, you know, I think, like I said, Joyce, he is, he's not young, but he didn't have much experience when they fought, you know. I think he's got more experience now, been to the Olympics, been doing well as a pro. So who knows? I think anything could happen in that fight.
Obviously, he had a great win against Daniel Dubois at the end of last year. Daniel Dubois is coming back in May. What do they make of Daniel Dubois out there?
I think Daniel Dubois is a good fighter. I think he can bounce back, get right back in there. You know, no shame in losing to Joyce. I think Joyce is better than what a lot of people think, and I think Daniel is gonna come back and do well because he's young still. So, you know, one loss is not the end of the world, and I think he's gonna come back strong.
And could that be anyone? Could that be someone on your radar, Dubois?
Yeah, for sure. That could be somebody.
How does a fighter like Dubois? How does he get over those mental demons of what happened in the Joyce fight?
Well, that depends on how he's doing. I don't know. I mean, he had a real bad injury. You know, I wasn't in his shoes. It's easy to say that he quit, but, you know, maybe he saved himself and, you know, lived to fight another day. So, like I said, I think he's going to come back, do well. I saw that he's changed trainer. Hopefully that works out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know those guys that well, so I don't know. But it's not always great to change trainers, I feel like. But it might work. It worked for Fury when he fought Wilder the second time. So, see what happens.
Excellent, man. Well, Otto, we'd like to wish you all the best, you know, for this year anyway. And, you know, when there's a next fight announced, we'll definitely be in touch and we'll do something again, 100%.
Yeah, sounds good. I want to be back out there maybe June, July, something like that. So we'll be in touch. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Otto. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Subscribe.
All right.